Hey Star Wars fans, how's it going? This is Star Wars 977. In today's episode, we're going to take a closer look at the brand new line of vintage figures. These were released by Kenner just recently to kind of commemorate the vintage line of Star Wars figures. It's really cool. So let's take a closer look at each one. These are the first wave, these are the first 10, and I think they're pretty stellar. So let's take a closer look. Hey guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with the heroes here. This is Luke Skywalker in Bespin fatigues. And he's got the lightsaber. He's got the lightsaber handle here. Interesting enough, really cool thing they're doing a promotion with this. It's a free Boba Fett. What you do is with the mail-in 5 Star Wars action figures, proof of purchases. This is a jet firing backpack Boba Fett. If you guys don't know, it's one of the rarest figures you can find, vintage figures. Obviously, it's a reproduction. They're not going to just give you a really rare figure, but it looks vintage. It's super cool. It's got a nice sticker on here. I've heard that the Canadian figures don't necessarily have the sticker, so if any of you Canadians can confirm that or not, let me know. But I do think it is Canadian, up and available in Canada, because it says U.S. and Canada residents only. So I don't know, but pretty cool. Obviously, it's very retro. You get the bubble here and all that good stuff. I love the detail of Luke here as well. And then here on the back, it shows you the figures. Now, they did release a couple years ago another Luke vintage-like figure. I want to compare the differences. These came in like a nice plastic bubble wrap or plastic case. These did not. And look how the difference between the Lukes as well. See the detail, different color. This is a little bit more detailed than the one on the left, the newer one. So back is actually really similar. Here's the new one, and then here's the back of the other one. Okay. All right. We have our lovely Princess Leia in Hoth outfit now. Just Leia in Hoth outfit. Pretty good detailed figure. I love it. She's got the blaster here. Again, you get the Boba Fett sticker. Love the retroness here. Even says Kenner. How retro is that? That's awesome. On the back, it talks a little bit. It shows the original card, 1980 to 1982, and the other figures on the set, and to commemorate the legendary Star Wars saga, etc. So forth. This is the vintage collection. Pretty good figure. And the first time they actually released this one in modern day. So here's a quick look at C-3PO. I'm not a big fan of the detail of this figure. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. A lot shorter than other C-3POs that we've seen Hasbro make. I really like the retro box though. The cover art and stuff's cool. Here's the back. Here is, well, in 2004, they actually released another vintage figure. It's the C-3PO. Same back. In fact, the cover and same back is very, very similar, as you can see. The difference is if you look at this one right here and compare it to this one right here, look at the detail here. You can see the wiring in here, a little bit taller. His knees are bent the way this should be. I just really like the detail they put to this figure. I'm not sure why Hasbro, in my opinion, took a step back and made that, but pretty interesting. They also come with a little guide as well. Twin pod cloud car pilot. Pretty cool looking figure. He's got the helmet. I believe his helmet does come off as well. You get the blaster, and pretty retro look. These guys are at Cloud City. And then here is the back. All these backs are different colors. If you notice, this one's brown, some more green, some more blue. I'm not quite sure why that is the case. But either way, overall, pretty good detailed looking figure. Here's a really interesting figure that I like a lot. This is Han Solo Echo base outfit. This is the first time they've released a figure like this. So this backing hit you see right here was never released originally by Kenner in the 80s. He comes with a welding helmet, which is cool. So he's working on the Millennium Falcon. He comes with a welding kit as well, which is really cool, and a jacket, heavy coat, which is really cool. And it just talks about first issue vintage. So there's no figure that was vintage. Now they did back in 2007. They did release another Han Solo. This is one I showed in a previous video. This is Hoth outfit, but completely different. Even though it's similar in Project's back, it's completely different. Okay, here is another figure that they just came out with. Dak Raltar. He is the guy, the pilot that was fighting with Luke, which is pretty cool. And in the Snowspeeder. So this is again a first edition, never released vintage wise. He's got blue backing, and his helmet does come off. He's got the emblems and stuff on the helmet, and he's got even a rifle, if you can see that. And he has a blaster, and the detail on these things are amazing, and you can see that the articulation when they move and the joints and stuff. And here's the picture of him. The sticker is the lower corner than the other ones, which is interesting. I'm not sure. Maybe just randomly put it there. I don't know. So now we're moving on to some of the Empire figures. Okay, this is AT-AT Commander. AT-AT Commander, or AT-AT Commander, whatever you want to pronounce it. There's, tomato, but he got the removable helmet, and here's the original figure. I remember the original figure when it came out, and I mean the detail is just so much. I mean, he's got the the armor up front. He's got the blaster. Really cool looking detail. They actually have an AT-AT vintage line vehicle that was released for Toys R Us as well, which I saw it's for $100. I almost picked it up. I'm gonna probably pick it up eventually, but it's a pretty sweet looking. The whole packaging looks very retro. It's really sweet. Okay. Here is Forlom. Okay, and he is a sticker, and he looks a lot like the Forloms that we've seen before. He's a big rifle. He's the bounty hunter. Empire Strikes Back, and here is the original one. And you know what? Honestly, the original one was pretty detailed. This one is obviously more, but really good looking figure overall. And you can see the red marking on his shoulder. They even replicated that too, which is, I mean, the attention to detail on these figures is just amazing. Here is Darth Vader, and as you can see, very detailed looking figure. He's got the cloth clothes and stuff, and the cape and all that good stuff. And here's the original one. It's got the yellow back. One thing interesting also, in 2004, they released another Darth Vader here, vintage, and this is it right here. Same backing. The back is exactly even both yellow, very similar backing. Okay, but one thing to look at the difference between the Darth Vaders here. I just want to point the two differences out. A lot more silver on this one. He's got the lightsaber handle on this one. He doesn't on the one that just came out. And I think the one on the left, the detail on the helmet, you can actually see the detail a little bit more clearly on this one. Overall, both great figures. This has the cloth cape as well, but I prefer the new one that just came out. Now, the last figure I want to show you is probably the one that most people like and look for, is the Boba Fett. If you look at the detail here, pretty good detail. You can see the braids here on the side come hanging down, and the way he's standing is definitely the way Boba Fett would be standing for sure. And pretty cool looking figure. Here's in the back. You see the vintage one, which is worth quite a bit as well. Now the helmet does come off, and if you take the helmet off, you got this white guy underneath, which doesn't necessarily match the line of the Star Wars story, because if you remember correctly, Boba Fett was the son of Jango Fett, or a clone rather, and he's got darker skin. So don't quite know how that works. Now in 2004, again, Hasbro did release another figure. This is the Return of the Jedi backing, and if you look at the detail here between the two, real quick, let me just go like this. Here, it might be easier to view like this. Here's the one on the left is a new one. This is one that released in 2004. And the one on 2004 appears to be a little bit shorter, a little bit more stocky, as far as maybe a little heavier set. Still great detail. I really like the detail on the helmet here. As you can see, it just really pops out more, so they did a fantastic job. The back is identical. So anyway, those are the first 10 initial figures that Hasbro has decided to release. I know initially on this video I said Kenner released them, but Kenner is owned by Hasbro, same company. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and may the Force be with YouTube. Take care.